everyone. Today's going to be a first of its kind vlogging test with the Nikon Z8. Well, that didn't go as planned. Okay. Before you guys crucify me in the comment section, watch the video all the way to the end to get the context. Let me say this. The Nikon Z8 is new to me. It's new to everyone at this point. So how's it perform? This is what people have been testing over the past couple of days. I can say this. You know me, I do video. So I have to test out the vlogging side of things. And some of you are going to say, nobody vlogged with this camera. That's cool. Well, probably won't do it either. But I wanted to see what it could do. We're talking autofocus system, right? So let's get into it and explain what happened in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back, it's Wayne. I'm a bit excited. I know you guys saw that intro and you guys are wondering what the heck is going on. Let me say this. I wanted to test out the camera and see what it could do in a vlogging kind of scenario. Because yes, I shoot videos now, and while I've been playing with the camera, I kind of like how it's been shooting photos, and some videos would be behind the camera. So what would be like if I had it on the road one day and I just wanted to record something on my own? How would that look? So this is what this test was about. Now clearly, that first one that you saw was not what I'm going to be using for the intro of the video. But I wanted to put it out there so you guys can see what it's like. So let's take a tour around KLCC and I'll come back and tell you about what I did and how I got things to work out correctly. Hello everyone, this is going to be a first of its kind vlogging test with the Nikon Z8. Hopefully my voice is being picked up. There's water noise behind me. There's people walking around, people talking. But, you know, we got to test it out. We got to see what it can do. So this, for me, is going to be a new thing.
Stop the battle within your soul. You know it's all in your head.
I'm utilizing the camera with the Sony 16-35 lens. That's the power zoom lens. It's a little bit easier to manage. As you can tell right now I'm handling the camera. Maybe a bit of shake, because I actually tried this once before and things were out of focus. I guess my finger touched the screen before I started recording, so it didn't turn out too well. So this is the second try. Let's see how this works out.
Far from all the voices telling us we can. Higher than the pain. We can make it, we can take it easy.
Okay, so now that you've watched the proper intro and see how things are working and see how things are looking, you're probably wondering what went wrong. Why didn't things look perfect in the beginning? Let me say this. Yes, the camera has eye autofocus and it has face autofocus for humans, animals, planes, all these things. But I was using autofocus full time with the full sensor information, didn't do any selecting of anything else. Now I remember in the Z6 you could do like a face detection separately from everything else, but this is sort of different. So I give myself a knock on the head and saying I didn't set things up correctly, because I just, like, you know, out of the box, this is what was going on. I was testing it with a Sony lens just to see how things work. So that was the result I got. Once I saw that, and I go, you know what? I need to put that other box inside there where you narrow it down, where you put your face in that area, so the camera is more focused on you as opposed to everything else around. This is what the result you saw on the second portion. So I say this a lot. When people go out for Sony cameras, they say it works just out of the box. Yeah, all these cameras work right out of the box. But then when you want to refocus on something, you have to tweak it a bit to make sure it knows exactly what it's doing. And clearly, as you can see, by making some adjustments, the camera stuck with my face, everything looked good. Did you notice how stable the camera was? Granted, I wasn't walking around, I was hand holding it. I didn't have a tripod or anything to hold on. It was just in my hand, holding it, pointed at myself. And it came out pretty good. So for those of you who are considering this camera, if you ever have to use it in a pinch to put on yourself, it'll be great. It can vlog. If you ever have to do it, you can do it. The other footage you've been watching, as far as quality, this was 4K 10-bit. It looks awesome to me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think overall for, the quality of the video for the situation I was in, it was fine. If you're curious about what setting I was using, I just stuck it in 2500. Sorry, ISO 2500, because that's kind of what I use with my Sony A7R5 when I'm shooting at night, where, light and me sort of mix. So if you go in a little bit darker area, you can manage it. If more brighter area, it'd still be fine. So it's kind of like middle ground. I didn't want to use all the ISO and have it go all over the place. I just set that 2500, boom, and I just went around with that one. And the video came out looking pretty good.
Sorry that you're not. Sorry that you're
Now I'll say this, I was surprised overall with the camera. Let's forget the lens for a moment. I know the lens, I know what it can do on a Sony camera, and I think it does pretty well on the Nikon as well. Most of the functions work. When I turn on the OSS, it basically disables electronic stabilization on the camera. So I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Maybe give it some extra stuff. But I noticed that as far as for photos, it seems to help a little bit when it comes to hand holding. Because some of these photos that you're going to see next, this was basically shot at a lower shutter speed. And I wanted to see what it would do just with me hand holding. Because on the A7R5, I can handle that sucker and shoot really low shots. And they come out clean looking. I got a couple shots. Take a look at these and we'll talk after.
Why you upset like Cinderella teens? You should see the things I fit inside these denim jeans. I can't associate with y'all this shit like ketamine. Been on one, been on two, been on everything. Bitch, I'm with my gang, with my squad, what the fuck you want? So be rolling gas, I can't hang, bitch, I'm fucking gone. I got people down from the jump, better know your bonds. I got people just tuning in, and the love is strong. Damn, they gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back. Stack that internet money till the site crash. They on IG trying to get a like back.
Okay, so I walked around and took some shots out here in front of the KLCC Tower and the mall. Hopefully they come out well. Clearly, I don't know what the video will going to look like because I'm in front of the camera and I don't know if about screen. Using the Sony 16-35 f4, not a bad lens. The balance is pretty good on this camera, so it kind of works. I didn't decide to put the tripod on, just hand holding it after taking some photos to the video. So we'll see how things turn out in the end. Hope you guys like all this. Enjoying the content? Love what you've seen so far? Find the information useful? Okay, wonderful. Now, next question. Are you subscribed? No? Oh, go on. Get subscribed. A lot of you watching are subscribed, but most of you are not. So while the channel is growing, I'd like to count on your support to help me to grow even more. So if you're coming back and watching the video, or if this is your first time, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. All right, not gonna take up any more of your time. Let's get back to the video. This next test that I'm doing now is with the OSS on and off. So take a look. All right, so here's a nighttime test with the Sony 24-105. Wanted to see what it'll be like just hand holding it and doing a video. I've turned the optical steady shot off because I wanted to see what it was like, if there's any difference. Not walking around like in a store, but out in the streets, just testing it out. Okay, so this time I've turned on the optical steady shot, and let's see if anything looks any different. Of course, I'm not moving around, but just hoping that if there's any benefit to actually having it. Personally, I didn't see too much difference. You can tell me if you saw something. It kind of looks the same to me. I've been thinking about probably go with a 24-120 because that's the lens that I wanted to exchange my 24-70 2.8 for. For video, f4 is fine for the kind of stuff that I do. So I'm still thinking if I should, go down that path and get that lens. So I wanted to really put this lens to the test and see if it was worth it Some of the photos I've taken with it, they look fine. And the video side, yeah, it's kind of iffy. I have to go back to the shop and test them again and see what the final results would be. But overall, you know, I think it looks pretty good. So the moon is out tonight, which makes for some good shooting. I've been snapping some photographs of the tower, and also to try to get the moon in there. You guys can see all these pictures later on once we get everything up. It's kind of cool. Especially with the full moon, it's a little bit hazy. It's not cloudy, so that's a good thing. Somewhere in between is always good. Now, this place is always busy in the area. This place is always busy at the end of the evening, so this is where you're gonna come and get your taxi in front of the shopping area. It's called the Surya KLCC. Those of you who ever make a trip over here, it's one of the famous malls next to the Twin Towers, so it's worth a trip if you're somebody like small. On the other side, there's actually a garden. There's a water show going on. I'll get a video of that so you guys can see that as well. I'm hoping the audio turns out well because, you know, I didn't bring any microphones with me. I'm just using what's on the camera. I think I can use the Resolve software to clean things up, so that should work out well. So, you know, so far just gingerly, or, you know, holding things steady. As you can see, it's just me holding and moving the camera around. It's not that bad. The stability is pretty good. Definitely better than what the Z6 was. And I figure at some point, whenever Nikon releases a Z6 replacement, I think it's going to be even better, because I'm pretty sure they're going to go after the vlogger crowd with that one. So right now, Z8 handheld video, pretty good. Walking, not the greatest. You have to walk with some care if you want to get some good footage. But overall, it's a really good effort by Nikon. Put in the Z9, it's a really good thing from Nikon. Put in the Z9 processor and everything inside this camera. It certainly is making everyone want one of these. And if you're on the fence, I'm telling you something, get off the fence and get you one. You'll be happy that you did. It's a really great camera, and everybody who's had a chance to play with one is really loving it. So, yep, don't think on it, don't sleep on it, get one. So now you've seen some videos in a vlogging scenario with the Nikon Z8 and the Sony lenses. Great combo, they work very well. But if you're already full in Nikon, don't switch, keep what you got, work with it, it'll work fine. Now, as promised, let me give you some of that video from the other side, from the water show, as we close out the video. Oh, before I forget, the audio, straight out the camera. I did mention it in the video. I didn't have a microphone with me. I was using everything raw. I figured I would have to do some voiceover and to talk it through, but in reviewing the footage, the audio sounds pretty good. If I need to do a cleanup, you're probably gonna notice, you know, if it doesn't have too much background noise, I'll use the noise reduction feature in, a voice isolation feature in DaVinci Resolve to kind of clean things up to make it better. But I want to keep most of the background noise so you can see what it was like just being on the road as is. If I did clean it up, I'll put a note in there in the video. If I didn't, then yeah, you'll know that everything is good to go. But I'm happy. I like it. Things are working well. There's some things I wish it could do differently, but I'll leave that for another video. But I just wanted to say, for those of you guys who are doing videos and are worried about how this camera is going to perform, clearly you can see how it's going to work. For those of you who want even steadier footage, if you're going to be walking around, certainly a gimbal is going to be something that you're going to need to get. I think Panasonic is the only camera manufacturer I know right now that has something that kind of resembles a gimbal when you're walking, as far as managing the footfalls. So yeah, you know, maybe we will see something better in the Z6 III, Z7 III, whenever those come out, and the Z5. But we're still waiting to see what Nikon is going to do. So let's close out the video and check out the waterfall show that's happening back here. Again, if you like the videos, guys, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up.
You've been running circles, circles, circles in my head. I'm trying to learn to let go, let go, let go. You've been running circles, circles, circles in my head. I'm trying to learn to let go, let go, let go. Yeah, it's hard to escape. Late night, closed eyes, like I'm looking at your face. Oh my, no shade, but can you please just let me pray? Yeah, you were made for me, temporarily. Like a painted picture, baby, you're a masterpiece. Love is something that I always thought was make-believe. Guess I was right, cause baby, you broke all of me. So sign the dotted line, baby girl, I think it's time. You finally let me go, begging you to say goodbye. Yeah. You've been running circles, circles, circles in my head. I'm trying to learn to let go, let go, let go.